Hello guys, welcome back to Google Hub tutorial, and I'll simply give an overview of what we're meant to say in JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language, okay, and it helps to make your website dynamic. Your website doesn't need to load for things to happen. Things can happen in the background. Multiple things can happen at the same time. So JavaScript can give an asynchronous functions. Multiple things can happen at the same time at the background. That is the powerful feature of JavaScript. And we've walked through comments, how to declare variables, operators, functions, data types, uh, what data types are, and data type methods like string search, templates, numbers. We've talked about arrays. We've talked about uh, dates, and uh, well, let's understand arrays again. Arrays try to let us know that we can have one item that contains multiple items. So the concept of arrays is that you can have a single item that contains multiple items, just like when you go to a shop to buy items and you have a trolley or a cart where you pick each item and drop into that trolley or cart. So your array is the trolley, your array is the cart. And you can always bring in items, you can always remove items, you can always change, replace items, and you discover that in the array methods, array search, array sort, array iteration, array const. And then finally we get to the date. Date tells us how we can manipulate date methods in JavaScript. We can use date formats, use the get methods, set methods for setting dates, and we can actually do every manipulation we want to do with dates, whether it is booking appointments, whether it is making a stopwatch, whether it is tracking delivery time. You can use JavaScript to be able to achieve all these using the date method. You have your math, boolean, comparisons, if and else operators. If and else operator is telling you that let this happen if this happens. But if this does not happen, let this other thing happen. So it's more like conditional statements. Okay, if this happens, then let this happen. If this happens, then let this happen. If none of those things happen, then let this happen. That is what comparison operators do for us. And you is similar to switch. Switch is also comparison. We have loops. When we talk about loops, it means going through iterations. We want to go through something over and over again. Okay, that's what our loops are for. Okay, going through items over and over again. And there are cases where you might need to go through items over and over again. For instance, you want to send a mail to every employee in your company. Okay, you need to go through your database records. So you go to record 1, check. Go to record 2, check. Go to record 3, check. Go through record 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, till the very last record until there's no other record to check through. So you look through your records to check if these employees have emails. If these employees have emails, then an email will be sent to them. This is an example of where loops can be used. Going through something over and over again. Okay. All right, so this is where we'll be stopping our classes so that you can write your exams. However, I will be talking about if and else statement because it's one of the popular conditional statements in JavaScript. So conditional statements are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. Conditional statements, very often when you write code, you want to perform different actions for different decisions. You can use conditional statements in your code to do this. In JavaScript, we have the following conditional statements. Use if to specify a block of code to be executed if a specified condition is true. Use else to specify a block of code to be executed if the same condition is false. Use else if to specify a new condition to test if the first condition is false. And then use switch to specify many alternative blocks of code to be executed. For example, we said if the condition is true, execute the block of code. Okay, remember your comments in JavaScript. So for instance, if R is less than 18, greeting is good day. So when you try it yourself, you will see that it is showing good evening. Why it is showing good evening is that ours is not yet less than 18, right? So they said new date get ours less than 18. So our ours is not yet less than 18 because of my time. If you can see my screen, you see that at 11:59 p.m. Okay, my hours is definitely maybe around 23 because this should be like 23 if you're counting your dates in hours. This 11:59 p.m. should be 23, so that's why it's still showing good evening. But if I change this to above, if I change it to greater than and I run, it will be saying what's good day, but that is wrong because anything greater than 18 should even be uh, anything greater than 18 could be night. You can say maybe that's night time. All right. So we have the else statement. If the condition is true, execute this block of code. However, if the condition is not true, then else execute this block of code. So something like this: if I is less than 10, greets in good day. Else greets in good evening. The else if statement. Use the else if statement to specify a new condition if the first condition is false. Use this else if statement to specify a new condition if the first condition is false. So they said if condition 1 execute this. If this condition is met, execute this code. Else if we now want to check another condition, this other condition is met, execute this code. Now, if both conditions were not met, else you can now execute this code. So you can check multiple else ifs. You can check multiple else if, then finally an else. It will start with an if, then else if. You can have multiple else ifs depending on how many conditions you're checking, and then finally an else. So this is an example. We said if time is less than 10, greeting is good morning. Else if time is less than 20, greeting is what? Good day. Else greeting is what? Good evening. All right. See you guys in our next tutorial on PHP. Thank you.